The real rings of power are the friends we made along the way. Hey, no, Kim Edge responded to one of our podcasts with that, and thank you, Kim Edge. We will...
Kim Edge.
The real friends.
So making sure like they didn't have like, a Seymour Butts kind of name or something like that.
Oh, no, word. No, it's Kim Edge 7493. Just one of those people that like just doesn't bother to like change their vanity URL, which I'm good with. I'm good with that. Yeah. Good for you. You just are that person.
Like how many other it makes me think how many other Kim Edges are there that they got that, that nomenclature I
think YouTube doesn't discriminate. I think YouTube is just like, although, you know what? Who knows how many Gmail accounts Kim
Edge. You never know.
No,
you never know.
I do have a floating fake Gmail account.
Don't tell them about your burner.
It's not for me. It's for my podcasts that I produce, so that if like something isn't quite doing well, I'll use that account just to hit like and share.
Oh, that's how you swayed all the votes for our Beyond Middle Earth. I remember you admitting
YouTube
to voter
up.
fraud.
No, YouTube
that was insane.
YouTube popped off on its own. But
we really had to talk about Encino Man for an hour. because of your burner account.
That was my Twitter, which I actually think I am going to leave now. Did you see that you will still be able to see blocked accounts?
Yeah, I think that's my last straw as well. I re-downloaded Blue Sky.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get more active on Threads. The thing about
Threads is not bad.
Threads isn't bad. I'm seeing way too many suggested accounts on my main feed rather than like a For You page. Like a For You page, as much as ass Twitter is, I find some funny videos on the For You page, or like some good memes about sports and stuff like that. And sometimes I followed, I think, like 3 accounts off that. But I don't want to see it on my main feed. Maybe I just don't follow enough people, but I follow like as many people as I do on Instagram because, it's a 1-to-1. They kind of like import those follows sometimes. So they need to clean that up. But Blue Sky, re-downloaded that, and follow me over there, guys. I don't know. I think it's just my name over there, Ben Goddard.
I sent
Blue
you
Sky.
I was the one who got you that link, right? Is
yeah,
that right?
Yeah. I just I wasn't using it, so
neither did I.
And so I just deleted it for a while, and I was like, oh, let me download this, and my login stuff was still there, so great.
No, yeah, I actually have seen a few people follow me over there recently. I never undownloaded it. It just I think I was so out of the swing of posting on Twitter anyway that going then over to use new apparatus wasn't like intriguing to me. And the more I think about it, the more I really truly do just use Instagram. And I'd rather be the account that shares those banger stories, banger reels from my stories. And that's just it. And occasionally there's an advertisement from one of my shows. I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship, as most people do, with social media. You and I can explore this topic ad nauseum. You and I should have like a Ben Jess catch-up. Ooh, okay. Here we go. You know how some people don't necessarily love that we do this before we talk about the thing we're supposed to talk about?
I think everybody loves it, unequivocally.
No, okay, yeah. That person that actually you tweeted about, that tweet, I'm so mad at Elon right now. I keep on thinking about tweets.
Jessica, if you guys aren't following, Jessica was scolding Elon Musk like a teacher. Also, like he was gonna see it.
He sees them all. He does. He scrolls through it. Even if he didn't respond.
Honestly, I think it's worse that you added him because I think he probably name searches himself all the time.
Oh, no, that's good info. That's good info.
Because, people will type Elon, but put like, an asterisk
Elan.
over, or something, like make it seem like they're not trying to add him. I bet he looks through that more than he looks at his own ads because
he knows
he's that sicko. Like,
oh, you're so right, and I need to go retweet everything I just did. I really was going for him yesterday.
You really were
so mad. I was so mad. The person that you were like, sorry that we're not robots, came back. and did listen to our episode and still doesn't like what we do and was curious how we genuinely can't find something to criticize about the show,
What?
that we pull the punches. No. It was interesting criticism. It really was. That we
Okay.
pull the punches on saying something is truly bad about the show. And now I responded, I truly can't name one very bad thing besides the lower third crawl of Mordor from last season.
Oh, from last season?
Yeah. But I'm just
I
saying in general, I don't know that
Yeah.
I could say anything was out and out bad. I don't think I just don't think that we do pull punches.
No.
Can you say something's meh? Totally. Can we say that this show's got bad stuff? I don't really think so. I mean, maybe
I think
bad
it's got
cutting,
missed
bad timing.
opportunities.
Yeah. But it's still art at the same time. I don't know. I just like, yeah, do you think anything was truly bad this season?
Not bad. Rushed, poorly edited in some. It's so tough because like there's no more nuance anymore, I feel like. And I know that's not a nuanced take, like everyone says that. But it does seem to be even worse nowadays, where either you have to just blindly love everything about a project, about a movie, TV show, whatever you want to call it, or you have to absolutely hate it and call it trash. Like there is no middle ground anymore where you can, say, "Oh, that was good. There's some problems in there." Like I love like the Adam Driver, that movie 65, where like he's a space pilot and he gets lost on Earth, but it was 65 million years ago, so he's like fighting dinosaurs. So fun. Is it
Amazing.
Is it a good movie? Probably not, but I asked for Adam Driver fighting dinosaurs. That's what they advertised. That's what I got. Well, I don't know, like what else I could ask from a project. If you advertise the movie that says Adam Driver crash lands on Earth as a spaceman, but twist, it's 65 million years ago. He's fighting dinos. Hell yes, dude. Give me that.
You know what though? I finally watched Deadpool Wolverine. I didn't ask for Dogpool, but I'm glad I got Dogpool.
And that's the thing, is that like I have problems with that movie. I still found it entertaining.
Sure.
But after a while, I found it a little taxing, a little too much fan service for my liking. But overall, I had a good time. I had some good belly laughs. It was great to see Hugh Jackman is like, he can't not be great. Like that minivan scene where he like scolds Deadpool and he's like, "You're a joke. You can't even like keep a relationship with a stripper." I think that was probably supposed to be like a punchline, but Hugh Jackman's just so good that everyone in the theater like took like it was like when Tony Stark got stabbed in Infinity War. Everyone was just like, because it's so funny because everyone compares Doctor Strange to Tony Stark. They're like, "Oh, he's just kind of the same character, like the snarky rich guy." But when Doctor Strange, when he gets injured and Rachel McAdams is like, "You have plenty to live for," and Benedict Cumberbatch says, "Oh, like what, you?" The entire theater gasp. And I was like, okay, there's the difference. Tony isn't like mean. He's like funny mean. That was just mean. And that's what that line from Deadpool Wolverine was. I was like, oh my God.
But he's right. And that's the acting in that scene. It's worth the price of admission alone.
That was the one scene, like the whole movie was on Twitter opening weekend. The amount of people filming in the theater was insane. And the fact that like Sean Levy and Ryan Reynolds were like retweeting it is like very problematic in my mind. Oh yeah.
What?
It's not great.
Did they think they were trying to like, if you can't fight them?
It was great. Like, and then I think Saturday of Comic-Con, or maybe it was Sunday, I can't remember, but they had every cameo on stage. So I was like, oh God, I hope everybody in Hall H saw the movie, because they just
Electra got ruined for me. I think,
really? Okay.
Yeah, because I saw Lady Pool legs, and then I thought it was like a double, like it was like a joke that there really wasn't a lady pool, that it was Electra, because they're both red outfits. Like someone was showing the bottom
for sure.
so I didn't realize there was actually a lady pool because I thought it was just Electra. Blade was awesome. That was an awesome reveal. That was just like spoilers, I guess, everybody. If you were me, you know.
Like, I'll never forget the story of a guy that went and saw Spider-Man Far From Home in February when it came out, like in November, December. And then when Toby and Andrew showed up, he was legitimately mind blown. And I was like, good for him. Because he's the only person that didn't know. And I'm so happy for him. But so, like, that's the thing. I mean,
even fucking Tom Holland let it go that fucking Andrew Garfield was there and didn't mean to. Like, that video of him going, oh my God, when he realized he just blew that the fact that, he saves Zendaya. My friend did that to me. And I was on the road, thanks to Hector Navarro, to watch all the every Avenger movie, every Marvel movie up into Endgame. I didn't make the release. If we've talked about this, like it's something about like Miss Marvel or something really that I didn't like that movie, so I really got turned off for like two weeks, and I couldn't catch up. I just didn't like it. She's like, I'm a girl, and then she punches Jude Law. I did like that she sucker punched Jude Law. I really loved that. But I just couldn't get with the movie. I just didn't like it.
I like it. I still haven't seen the second one, but I like the first Captain Marvel.
Oh, the second one's probably fun. I haven't seen the TV show, and I'd like to see it. I know the TV show was good.
I didn't finish it, but the main character, Iman Vellani, who is Miss Marvel, great. So good.
Yeah, I'm not saying Miss Marvel. I'm talking the Marvelous
Captain
Mrs. Marvel.
Yeah. You're getting further away.
I know.
I would love to see Brie Larson do some stand-up, though. I think that'd be pretty good.
Is one show I did watch in its entirety on Facebook.
I'm very happy Rachel Brosnahan is Lois Lane. I think that's great casting.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, pretty good.
That's interesting.
But like, I watched the first 3 episodes, and in those first 3 episodes, she does her stand-up, and none of it was funny to me. So it's like, the rest of the show is great. Love Tony Shalhoub, love her loser husband, love the club
Alex
manager.
Bornstein's great, yeah.
Yeah. Everything was like clicking, except for her rants, like on stage. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I understand that. And for me, it was more just a show about her breaking the barriers, whether she's funny or not. You know what I mean?
I get it.
But that's why I didn't want to watch the whole thing. I'm with you. Like, let's be funny. There were women out there doing comedy at the time. Yes, did they all get front row center Johnny Carson? No, but like, I think it was more. Wow, she's actually saying this. But I'm with you. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just adding texture that worked for me. Anyway,
obviously, I was in the minority. Got like 5 seasons, and there was like Miss Maisel days in L.A. Like
Family Guy. I didn't know that. Family Guy said it best. We're like, oh, remember that great show that gets worse every season that everybody loves.
Hey, Rick and Morty just got greenlit for season 12. So
I like Rick and Morty though.
I do too.
I haven't watched any new seasons because they did that thing. It's exclusively on. Remember, it was like exclusively on Cartoon Network or something.
Something like that. And yeah, like if Cartoon Network's gonna do that, they gotta up their streaming service.
I think Cartoon Network's gone now, right, or something.
Well, I know like Adult Swim's like, because I used to watch some episodes on Adult Swim, but like their media player was not great.
Ugh, maybe that's why they're dead in the water. Anyway, we're supposed to be talking about Rings of Power.
Oh, that's right.
Which is fine. We put a couple calls to action like, hey guys, what do you want to see in season 3? And I've been thinking about it too. We got a comment on our YouTube where Billy Muizy? Sorry, Billy. Glorfindel, I would literally cry. So I actually did like a little bit of a deep dive into Glorfindel.
Ooh,
and it could be pretty good, I think. And it would make sense to get him there.
I think that's gonna. Well, it's like Círdan, where that was like the big.
Well, Círdan has to be there. He's a ring holder.
But that's what I'm saying is that like you can, I think that would be a great like, hey, we got Glorfindel, and then people will judge the casting, whatever. But that's like your big stunt casting for this season, and I feel like that was Círdan this season, and we didn't get much of him. So I mean, like that's a big criticism for me for the one commenter dude. Where it's like you have a great casting, You have an insane introduction where this guy is just shaving with a seashell. Say that 5 times fast.
Ooh.
And just makes the biggest impression on one of the main characters and the audience at the same time, and then
Changes
just
the whole
disappears.
emotional trajectory of one of the main characters. Although, in that sense, if I think about it now that I'm saying out loud, sages are really not supposed to be there the whole time. You know what I mean? Like, he is as wise and impactful as he is because he's really not there going, I told you. You know? Like...
Well, he's like put him in the finale or something.
No, I mean, for sure. He's probably going to be there for Numenor or something. Ben is dying, everybody.
I am still dying. Like, this cold refuses to go away.
I'm so sorry.
No, I get it. Like, you pick and choose, and maybe like the scarcity makes the heart grow fonder.
Well,
but
for a sagely character like him, it does make sense. But I wanted more. I'm just with you. You're not. Both things are true. So I saw somewhere on Twitter that like a time jump is probably what's going to happen. You know, watch the like elves heal in order to like then, you know, get ready for the battle of the last.
Yeah, do you think like we get like not fully formed Rivendell, but like a few houses here and there in Rivendell in Ithilien?
We probably do see something like that. Yeah. I don't think we're gonna see them lay the foundation so that Estrid could rip our heart out. But we do see
There's
like
a
the
river
making
here, and we're in it. Dell? Dell?
Dell, come here. Something like that happens for sure.
I can't wait.
Miss Randier shows up. Well, but that's just it too. You've got to see some sort of progression of time with Gandhi getting his, you know, skills in order. You maybe to the point where like we see the Stores and the Hardfoot band like trying to figure it out, and maybe getting closer to the Shire, or maybe they found the Shire.
So let's go piece by piece instead of just like aimlessly.
I don't
around.
care. I don't fucking care.
Jess isn't feeling well today, guys. So I'll try and steer today. Jesus Christ, you want?
What's up?
I don't know, man. What's up?
I'm having a great time.
I can tell.
Truly, I just want to talk about how I want to talk. Though. Okay, no, let's go for it. Absolutely, you're totally right.
So let's start with the Harfoots and Gandalf. So do you think, are we gonna take a break from the Harfoots and the Stores this next season?
I don't think so.
Think so?
I don't think so. Do you?
I think that would probably be the best, honestly. Like. I liked a lot of this season, but it was clear that they either needed more time or that one of the storylines should have taken a season off.
Listen, I think we talked about this when we do our Game of Thrones podcast. They do that more more seamlessly, like say goodbye to a couple characters for episodes than this series does. Which again, we're not trying to compare it, but hey, they're two of the biggest fantasy things. I think what's going to happen, listen, whether I think they should take the time off or not, I don't think they're going to. And I think I'm just realizing this now, they're probably going to meet up with Poppy's weird dad and stepmom. I think they're going to meet up with that group.
But it's like, I missed Isildur and Theo in those episodes, but those 2 episodes without them were very good because they were focused on Eregion and Moria. And so when they had to come back for the finale of season 2 because like, oh god, we got to wrap up that storyline too. We can't just leave them out in the wilds because the last time we saw them, they were fighting a giant mud bug. But other than that, it was really good to just be like, nope, we're not going to we don't need to do all 5 storylines this episode. We're going to focus on 2 of them because they interact more. And I feel like a whole season of that, it doesn't just have to be, you know, Numenor and fill in the blank or whatever, but if you get rid of one of them, where, like, are we going to see Theo next season? Like, or Estrid?
Yeah.
I don't care.
May not. We actually may not. That's a really good point.
Like, maybe Numenor ties in to, you know, the outpost and how they're going to lose all the Entwives because they're chopping wood.
Oh, it's so sad. It's so sad.
It's going to be very sad. But it's just like, I don't need to see that. And I think most people, and it's not even like that the storyline was bad or it was uninteresting or something, but it's like, we just don't need to. And we have so much ground to cover. And if we're going to do time jumps, because I think that's probably my biggest thing, is that time isn't clear of like how long it takes people to get from A to B, how much time has passed, what are the faithful. Like, if we're going to focus on Numenor, which I'm guessing is going to be the 9 rings, obviously, they got made this season. That was the big one. They're going to be distributed. We still haven't met the 7 dwarf lords that get the rings.
Yeah.
We just got one ring that went, like, to 11 and had, like, Durin the Elder crashing out. But
Jesus Christ.
He was. Like,
no, I know. But then it's going to be 7 dwarves or 6 dwarves besides Durin, and the brother is going to go corrupt.
Yeah.
Because he's going to want the ring. And we're going to watch other fucking, fiending dwarves. Here's the thing. I do think we're not going to be able to get emotional with every single dwarf, and we're not going to be able to get emotional with every single human. I think we're going to see a select few. I think.
And that, I will say, that's bad writing, because again, I don't want to keep comparing it to Game of Thrones, but there are so many characters when you look at how, like, when you look at the numbers of like, oh, they were only on screen for like 15 minutes in like 5 episodes.
Right.
And you're devastated if and when they die or they're just gone.
Speaking of devastation, I have to soft pause this. I watch reels towards the end of the night. You know this. I do. You are the recipient of them, and you're the only person who like actively responds to when I send you a reel. Thank you for that, by the way.
You're welcome.
These parents showed their 4-year-old the movie, the Harry Potter movie where Dobby, spoiler, dies.
Oh, okay.
The baby's 4. She's not meant to see this. And she is sobbing, going, I don't want him to die. For 2 full minutes of the reel. I am mad at these people.
Okay, but in counterpoint, by that time, she's already seen Cedric die. She's already seen Sirius die. Like, or did they just show her that
Dobby.
movie?
They're not Dobby.
Sirius is way more impactful and sadder
not for
than
4-year-old. They put your.
I can give you Cedric. Even
no one
though,
gives a fuck about Cedric.
Except for, like, I remember I'm not even a big fan of those movies, but if you watch the behind the scenes thing that they put on HBO Max, it's really good.
Oh.
And Mike Newell, the director, he only directed the 4th one. He's this wild guy, and you can absolutely tell because all the kids are like, yeah, everyone was going through puberty on that movie, so we were all just like starting to get attracted to each other. And then like the director was like, oh, Fred and George, you got to wrestle with each other. And he like wrestled with either Fred or George, I couldn't remember. And he like broke a rib. And he was like, oh yeah, I'm old, I can't do this. The guy's crazy. But he's just like, Cedric's dad, out of nowhere, just out of left field, comes up to bat. Like we always talk about the orc actors giving their 15 seconds.
Yes.
And it's gone viral. My boy, that's my son. And he was like, oh, even the director was like, what is happening right now?
No.
And so I can give her Cedric, but Sirius, like,
Sirius is a big deal, but also you don't see Sirius get stabbed. You just see him disappear.
It's pretty tough, especially when that's how the movie ends too.
You watch Dobby get stabbed and die in the arms of those 3 kids. That's different, and it's a whimsical creature.
Yeah, it's a pretty tough one. I can't lie.
You don't watch that at 4. I don't know. I just don't know what the parents were thinking. Anyway. Okay, you bring up a good point, though, that just Isildur and Theo were, like, absolutely gone, and it works, but that's why we needed 10 episodes this season, because we did need a whole episode with them. We have no idea, 0 clue the trajectory that Theo's on, at all, and...
Yeah, people have talked about, like, him being the Witch King, or one of the 9, or, something, and it's just, like, I love a good fan theory, but where, like, in season 1 maybe, and I feel like Bronwyn's departure from the show completely just derailed everything about the Southlanders stuff. Like, I don't think Arondir goes on his vision quest and ends up with the elves if Bronwyn is still there. They had to completely rewrite his character, which worked. It worked for him being like on a revenge against Adar and everything like that and going full, Punisher and stuff. But they just left, poor Theo was just left in the dust.
100%. To the point where even when Estrid's cuck goes, "This is Bronwyn's son."
I respect the shout out. But like, my boy, turn around. Your girl is getting taken.
Wake up.
Wake up, dog. Wake up.
No, it's so bad.
Bronwyn, your girl is gone with the wind, dog.
Clip it, Jack. Clip it.
Clip it.
Ben on a Ben.
Thank you.
That was very good. No, it's so bad. It does, like, at this point, just let her go. I don't see Witch King. I really don't, because you can't keep on having this kid, like, he's just mad and in puberty. He's just having a hard fucking time. And like, but then he's going towards the light actively every time we see this kid. And like, he's choosing Isildur. He's bonding with Isildur. He was a dick to Arondir. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, their few scenes were good, where he's like, whatever we were got burned up. Like, I was like, oh, that was a line right there. Yeesh. But then he just kind of disappears. And
do you think they'll put him in better clothes next season?
I hope so. Maybe in a few, like, now his growth spurt will be done.
Whoa.
But
he looks like the son of Taika Waititi.
He does.
He really has a Taika Waititi vibe.
He does. But yeah, I don't know. I would love to see where his character goes. But if they say, hey, Theo and, the Southlanders are out this season because Isildur's literally moving away from them, he's gone, I'd be okay with it. I think that would really work, and we could hard focus on Numenor. And because that whole thing where the actors in Numenor are doing their darndest. Like, they are putting in the work, they're putting in the time, but it's just going from 0 to 100 with, like, the faithful, and suddenly there's this whole cult. Suddenly they're knocking down doors and locking people up for their religious beliefs or who they think is queen, and I'm just like, wait, where did this come from? Like, we haven't gotten any of this. We went from, like, quiet bar conversations to overthrowing the queen to throwing people in jail to Elendil, like, having to flee the city.
Enemy number one.
Yeah.
Even, and that is a big criticism that I have, that you went from Pharazôn taking over, which is fine. He usurped the showing up of the eagle. That's fine. Maybe that's not what the eagle was there for, but he did it.
Yeah.
But then she comes back in full flames. But then, with living through the sea serpent event, but then they end up right back where they started.
Yeah, it was really strange that the eagle was like concrete. Oh my God, Pharazôn's got it like that. But then when a kraken literally spits her out, which honestly, that might get me. I'd be like, you know what? You might be the queen right there.
I was not familiar with your game.
I was not. And I'm sorry if Jessica jumped in the water and a sea serpent was like, now you're good, yeet, I'd be like, you know what? You're the boss. You're the boss.
I am, though.
I cannot compete with that.
But the thing that happens with them...
Yeah.
No, nothing. Well, just back to square one.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't matter that happened. And, I don't know if I think they've completely abandoned the fact that their cousin's then supposed to get married from the Silmarillion. They may circle back to that, but that could have been an interesting, like, could he have, like, positioned himself to be co-king and,
That's what everyone was expecting, was that when she, like, got coronated basically by the sea monster, everyone was like, okay, now Pharazôn's gonna marry her and then, co-opt the power.
Yes.
And
or like hold her hostage over the Palantir, or but you can't have a bad bitch be hostage. So is she gonna be in fucking jail this whole time? What's gonna happen? What is he? Because the last thing we see of her is she's in shackles, getting, like, read her rights. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I guess I just don't know what to expect in Numenor, except that you're right. The Nine Rings are made, and they've got to somehow imprison Sauron.
Yeah. I don't think, and that's the thing is that we've got 2 more seasons of build up, and I think the last season is going to be the last alliance.
Yeah,
Like I don't know how much. I have to believe. They said that the battle for Region was going to be 3 episodes when really it was a cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm. Did they
And
say
then
that?
I feel like I heard that somewhere. Maybe I'm making it up. Maybe
It
that was
could
just
be
a
that
fan
was just-
account or
I
something.
think that's right, but
But yeah, it was a cliffhanger, 1 full episode, and then kind of the end of the episode.
yeah.
Which it was still good. Like I like the geography of the battle. I like that I could see everything at night. I like that
Yeah,
we got some
totally.
good action. Some stuff was confusing there. The whole Damrod situation was like, what's happening right there? Yeah.
Just getting stabbed. End scene. He's laughing. Yeah.
But and so I'm just wondering like how they're gonna do the battle. I know we're looking ahead to probably like 2030 or something like that, or maybe
Oh
longer.
my fucking god! Oh my god, Ben!
Because let's say we're on track, even though I don't know if they've even broken ground with the golden shovel on season 3.
Oh my god!
We'll say 2026 for season 3. And then hopefully 2028 for season 4.
Oh my god!
Right? It's pretty crazy.
Oh my! Sorry, I'm old then, dude. Like, I almost don't think I can justify doing this anymore by 2030. Like, what the? I want to rip something.
It's pretty crazy.
That's crazy. We made that joke several times. See you guys in 8 years or whatever, but it's legitimate. It's legitimate.
But so yeah, I'm just wondering like are we building up to that? Are we building up to like him quietly slinking off into the dark? Or are we building up to like are they going to try and go 1-for-1 against that prologue of Peter Jackson where that's 5 minutes, the kind of like 3 minutes of battle, but that is a stark reminder of like what Peter Jackson's power was just like him just going back and forth with that mace hitting like 9 people at a time.
Wow. I forgot about that. Yeah,
Pretty great.
The entrance. Well, they kind of do hint towards his immense power, right? Like when they do decorporealize him and turn him into black goo at the beginning of this season.
Yeah.
It does send out like a frost shock kind of thing, which is cool.
Very cool.
They do. I don't think they're going to shirk away from that. Is my point.
I wouldn't want them to, honestly. Like I'm okay with having both. Like one might be better than the other. We don't know, but why not more? Like I have no problem with that. But
because he is supposed to be just gaining power now. He is.
That's the thing is that I'm looking forward to that. And I wonder how Pharazôn, knowing Halbrand is Sauron, how that's going to play into it. Is he going to show up as Halbrand? Is he going to show up as Anatar? I don't know.
Yeah, I think we're going to see Halbrand in some form or fashion because Numenor, at least according to lore, Numenor imprisons Sauron.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So him knowing that Sauron is good and works. Now I'm thinking though, with them commandeering Pelargir on Middle Earth and with, fucking Patrick Bateman being there. What's his character's name from American Psycho? Who
cares? I know who you're talking about.
You know what
Patrick
I mean?
Bateman, yeah.
Yeah, I got it. Being on shore, I have a feeling Sauron tries to go there, maybe, or somehow get to, and then like Patrick Bateman gets to be like, "Look, I got to Sauron," or something. We're also going to see Elendil go to see his son, who's a big mover shaker in Middle Earth. I think he starts one of the
not
Kingdom
a Isildur,
of Men.
though, right?
And it's not a Isildur. It's the thing that they walk through, that they sail through in the swan boats in the movies.
Oh yeah, the Argonath.
It's that's it. Elendil and his other son. It's not Isildur.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it starts with an A or something. Aarion is the daughter. I'm gonna have to just do this because people are screaming right now. I can hear them.
Let them scream. That's more comments.
Yeah, no, great. I'm gonna wait then. I'm not gonna mention it until way later. Wait till the end of the show, everybody. Elendil's sons. Elendil and sons. Anarian.
Anarian, okay.
Is one of the guys.
Rings a bell.
Yeah. I don't think he starts Gondor. But they end up going to Middle Earth to basically, once Numenor is sunken, he's like a king there.
Yeah, so do you think Numenor sinks next season? That's the big one.
Wow, that's a good question. Yeah, probably.
Think that's how it ends?
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably right.
I think I could see that, because that would give like season 4 them establishing Gondor, or whatever they do on Middle Earth, and that's I think I will call that bad, is the depiction of Numenor, in my opinion. If you want me to say something is bad about this show, is that losing Numenor isn't going to be sad to me.
No, you're totally right. I think that's one of the most salient points you've made is Numenor just sucks. Although, you know what it is? They haven't done enough to make us empathetic with the faithful, because the faithful are supposed to be spared.
Yes.
And yes, the queen is faithful. Elendil is faithful. I believe Anarian is still faithful, so they're supposed to survive the destruction of Numenor.
Mm-hmm.
But, the only other people that we see that are faithful is, like, that old guy that's getting, like...
arrested, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know what... From up to this point, at this point, before we saw those dudes and the people that were, getting their houses sacked, we didn't really think there were that many Numenorians that believed in the old...
Yeah, when they were going, like, door to door, I was like, oh, there's more than just, like, what's here? Okay.
Right? Because Elendil sure made it sound like he was, like, one of the last dudes holding a flame for the fucking elves, So
yeah.
I think that's the failure. I think the thing you're like saying, like, hey, I'm not seeing the flourish here. No, Numenor can suck, but let's see the people that don't.
But that's the thing, is that Numenor, like, by the time Numenor falls, it does suck. But if by the third episode, by the third time they get there, or maybe it's like the next episode, you already have, like, people being like, oh, they're gonna take our jobs, and like beating up Halbrand and stuff. I'm like, I never saw, outside of Muriel, who wasn't really like that nice to Galadriel.
No, she was not.
Fair point, because Galadriel was kind of rude to her too.
She was a little tempestuous, absolutely.
But there was no like, oh, I get it. I get why people revere Aragorn so much when they hear that he has the blood of Numenor in him. That he is, even though Isildur's heir could be looked as like a downfall because of his final action.
I mean, everyone carries that emotion with them. Yeah.
But you're like, when, I know it's in the extended version, but when Eowyn says, like, you can't be 87, you must be one of the Numenorians. Like, it's like they're these gods among men. And if Aragorn is like grandson of the 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 grandson, then, like, I don't know how else to explain it. Like,
what is he 75,000 times removed from that still makes him that great 1,000 years later? 100%.
And so I think that's probably my biggest, that's just actually bad of the show, is that I'm supposed to care when this kingdom falls, and I just don't.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, so we'll meet Anarian. We'll see what's going on there. I think we're getting to see glimpses of the Isildur that is the ancestor of Aragorn, because we are seeing Elendil just give us Aragorn all day, and
he's so
great.
good.
He's so good. Great. It's so great. But yeah, at this point, it's like fucking sink him. I don't know.
Yeah,
sucks.
I'm just good. Like,
I want
the story to progress, so I'm just I'm good with what happens next. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh no, don't do that.
Aarian, though, the sister
Yeah.
she's probably the representative for us of what, like, will they sink or will she swim kind of thing.
For sure.
Like, she probably, which then that is a failure because she's not interesting enough for me to like play the moral good or bad game with this.
Yeah.
Like,
Like I'm just straight up like Willy Wonka, like, wait, no, don't
yeah,
go.
don't
Like,
stop.
yeah,
Please.
I'm just there, and I don't. And that's the thing is, I don't want to be there because the actors
Yeah.
are really giving it their best.
Totally.
It just feels like the writers' room was like, oh, we can't spend too much time because we've got A, B, C, and D, and this is like the E storyline, and we got so much to cover, and oh my god, we're already at the finale. Okay, we got to wrap everything up right now and set it up for season 3, and like I can say a little bit of the same with Moria, but we spend way more time with Disa and Durin and King Durin than Elendil and his family or Farazan. So like I'm more invested in that. Like that.
Yeah, totally.
The Elder Durin's corruption was way sped run, and both of us have said like, who the hell is gonna put the ring on after that? And they kind of basically had to. You know, we made fun of like, oh, and my brother's coming for the throne too. I promise we've mentioned him before. Like, I feel like they almost had to do that because everybody was probably saying the same thing of like, wait, how do the rings like pass on when they know not to put it on? And I feel like they almost were like, oh, don't worry, Durin's not going to put it on. His brother's going to fight for these rings or something. Or, you know, the other dwarf lords are.
I don't know. I don't know what to expect. You're so right that it's... Sorry. I tried to make it sound like I didn't yawn. I'm so sorry.
It was as good of a recovery as you could have done. Because you were just like, if you're not watching this on YouTube, I love a good podcast, but you're missing just as like, I'm definitely not yawning. Just like shaking her head.
I think he's gonna find a way to fight it. I think the love he has with Disa will help. But I wonder. I just don't know if he's gonna put it on to best his brother, or his brother's gonna take it and try to like curry favor. I was gonna ask if we got less of everything else but more of Numenor this season. I doubt this upcoming season. I doubt that that's what's gonna happen. But like, would that feel better or like?
Well, it just depends because we finally saw the Mithril. Finally, first actual sighting of Mithril outside of like, you know, the little gemstone that, you know, was in season 1. And so are we? But then it got caved in with Durin the Elder's final epic metal ass moment, which I loved. But
So amazing.
Now, how are we gonna get back? Are we getting back to that mine shaft? Are we like? I'm very curious to see what's next with that because I feel like in season 1 they introduced the Balrog a little early, and they're like, oh well, we can't just like not do anything with it now, so we have to do something with it. I didn't think they were gonna do this much with it. I thought it was a great scene. It looked awesome. Balrog looked dope as hell. It was a great fight scene. It was really cool. But I don't know what happens next with Moria either. But it's more of like a curiosity of just like, I can't imagine what happens next. But I'm just like, okay, where do we go from here?
Yeah.
With this? And it is with characters that I really love and enjoy and love spending time with. But I'm just like, okay, how do we get the rings? Who's using them? And what happens to Moria as a whole? Like, do they go back down and be like, okay, we really need that Mithril? Or is Durin's brother just going to be kind of like the cure-all for everything I'm talking about? With like, Durin's brother puts on the ring and forces his way in. Durin's brother, you know, reopens the Mithril mines and delves too greedily.
Sure.
And that's when the Balrog fully gets unleashed with Durin's brother.
Do you think Durin's brother is named Durin?
I hope so. I really hope. Honestly, I hope so.
Do you know what I mean? Well, I mean,
Just
Latino families do that, where it's
lean
like
into it.
Jose. You know what I mean? Like they all have the same first name, and then they go by their middle name.
Oh, I didn't know
Latino families, yeah, not obviously ubiquitously, but like you meet 7 Jose's, but then one is Leon and the other is, you know, Juan, and Jose Juan, nice to meet you. It's great. So maybe it's Durin the third and the Durin the fourth.
I hope so. I cannot wait for that.
Okay. The other thing I'm curious about is, will we actually see elves in action in season 3? What do you think?
I think we get a lot of building Rivendell because all of our elves are in the same place now, right? Like, besides Círdan, which I don't even really count, but all four of our main elf
So
characters
that's
are in
interesting.
Rivendell.
Yeah, because Lindon, they said they can't go back there because like now that he's fully armed up, Sauron.
Yeah.
Lindon is at stake, essentially. I don't know why, but I guess you could get
Does
there.
anyone in Linden know that? Like, Gilgalad's chilling, but like, is Gilgalad going full Ted Cruz and just like abandoning Linden to go to Cancun when the freeze happens?
Oh,
like,
no.
yeah, I went there, baby. What's up? What's up?
Oh, no.
Not in an election year.
No. You're gonna alienate our base, man.
Oh no! But honestly, like, is anyone gonna warn Linden that Sauron is back, or are they just gonna get like a rude awakening one day?
Wow, that's very. Yeah, because Círdan, did Círdan say he was going somewhere, or is he?
I don't know, man. Like, he made such an impression, and then he was just gone, and it was so sad.
I don't know. I think ultimately they're gonna have to get Círdan back somehow.
He can I'm okay with him just like showing up and like yachting how he got there.
Yes, totally.
But like, so we're building Rivendell, but like, I don't think it's gonna be the fall of Eregion like it was this season, where it's, I really like that, where like it's like a time race of like, oh, we got to build the rings while Eregion is falling around our ears. I really like that. I don't think we're gonna get that much, but I do think Linden falls next season.
I don't even know that we're gonna see it.
You think it's just gonna happen off screen?
I think that's why they're already at Rivendell.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually didn't even consider that we would see Linden falling. That's what I think is gonna.
Starring Gerard Butler, Linden has fallen. Oh my God. Amazon, do the best thing ever.
We got a spin-off for you, bro.
President Gilgalad, get down!
That's what AI is for. You know that, right? Like,
someone, I've never used Chat GPT, but I will.
You haven't?
Write,
it's great.
I will write Linden Has Fallen starring Gerard Butler, and I will send it to the proper representatives and add it to the Has Fallen trilogy.
Amazing. That is Linden.
Like, and anyone that's saying, no, that's stupid, you wouldn't want to see Gerard Butler in Middle Earth, get out.
Amazing.
Get all the way out.
It's such a great idea. I don't think we'll see it. I think we'll time jump past it, that it's been sieged. But I think you're right. Like, we'll see most of Rivendell on its way to being built. It's curious. I actually didn't think about this till just now. What kind of relationship exists between Elrond and Durin in this moment? Are we going to see more of them on screen? I'm curious.
I don't know. It was such a great reunion. With just like their 5 minutes that they got together was so good. That I think the writers will try at least squeeze one of those moments in, because they know that they're like a fan favorite romance for sure. Like, just such a great friendship. But I don't know how much we're gonna get. I think we have to get something, because he has to know why Durin didn't show up when he said he was going to. Like, I know that they managed to stave off, make people escape for Eregion, but they could have saved the city if they had shown up. It really was like 15 minutes. Like, it wasn't that much later, but it was a big 15 minutes, y'all. It was a big 15 minutes. A lot can happen.
It was a big 15 minutes.
It was. So I'm
dwarves.
To be fair, like, I feel like we got that moment, so all is forgiven, honestly. But yeah, I think we'll definitely get some kind of Elrond Durin moment, simply for fan service, if not for anything more.
But do you think Elrond's mad?
I don't know where Elrond... That is like a big question. That's a really good point you bring up. I don't know where Elrond's headspace is. I think he's accepted the power of the rings, so maybe his relationship with Galadriel is good.
Yeah, and I saw an opinion piece that was like, I don't think he accepted the power of the rings. I think he not succumbed, resigned to that. This was the only way.
Okay.
Like that he still is like, this fucking sucks, but this is like pretty much the only way right now.
That's a fair read, honestly. And if that is the read, that's even a bigger question of where Elrond's head is at.
Yeah. I'm curious. I don't know. I guess I just don't know if we're gonna see. Elrond's just disappointed. But is he still baby Elrond, who's like, oh, you didn't show up, Durin, and you know what I mean? Like, is he gonna be like that? I don't think he has the.
I don't think he's gonna be like that. I think he's going to just wonder why his friend wasn't there. But then when he sees, when his friend goes, hey, Balrog, he's like, oh, okay. Like,
my bad.
Valid excuse.
Yeah. I'm sorry, bro. Yeah. No, I think that's got to happen. Or maybe if there is a time jump, that conversation has happened between them. You know what I mean? I guess the reason I was thinking about the dwarves is like, do they come to help Rivendell, build Rivendell, or are they just like not even allowed to go there? But the dwarves saved them through Eregion. So, I wonder if. Here's the thing: we have to see some sort of rebuilding after the Battle of the Last Alliance. I do not think we will just end season 5, episode 8 with the ring being cut off.
I don't think so either. I think, bring up Game of Thrones hopefully one last time. They usually do like the big battle episode 9, and then 10 is set up for next season, downward on the roller coaster.
Yeah, they may need to do an epilogue episode too, because I don't know how you rush it. But like, are they going to show us how the dwarves and the elves end up hating each other after that alliance, to the point where Galadriel has to, mend race relations between them in Lothlorien 1,000 years later?
And that's a big point too. Like, I don't know if we need to see it in this show, but right now it seems like dwarves and elves should get along famously.
Yeah. I think maybe there just is like the reticence to trust somebody that isn't in your sphere. I wonder.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is why segregation is bad, people. If
you don't take anything else away from this show.
2 white people talking about race relations.
Yeah.
Let's go.
But I think, and that's the thing, is that I think there are more good, curious questions about season 3 than more like, well, how are they going to do this? Like, this
Absolutely.
looks impossible. It's more stuff. I feel like when we ask these questions, it's more stuff of just like, I'm excited to see.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
Totally. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just am with you. I think I'm more, let's put it this way. It's only getting better. This show has only gotten better, and I can't imagine they're going to stop now. That's where I'm at.
No, I remember, like we said, if you guys go back and want to watch our season 1 reviews, like we rewatched it right before season 2 dropped, and I was like, okay, I have accepted. We both called season 1 a prologue, where the set up all the pieces, as Gandalf would say, and now the pieces are moving.
Totally.
And I had even said, and I think someone left this comment on our last video where they're like, "You're right," and they did it. Where I said they need to put the pedal to the metal. They need to start moving. Then, if you want fans to accept that season 1 was a prologue and everyone was just kind of getting their starting positions here, and we're just introducing everybody for 8 episodes, I will accept that. I still have problems with it, but I will accept it. But now, you gotta go.
Yes,
you gotta
that's exactly
move.
right.
And they did that. Are there still problems? Could we have used 2 extra episodes of moving? Absolutely. But they did not disappoint with that.
Story.
They moved. Yeah.
Making good on promises they made, and keeping me in. I was in the whole time. And actually, did the miracle of all miracles made Tom Bombadil work somehow?
He's so good.
He's good. Speaking of Game of Thrones, I know you say he shows up. I even on other channels that like I manage on like a Facebook page I manage, it was like all the people that gets their throat slit. Like, it's like,
yeah, I'm really trying to not spoil you with anything every time we talk about like this show, but
it's unbelievable.
No, it's. To be fair, it's been out for a decade now.
I know.
But also, it's
But
It is
also
crazy.
because it's been out for a decade that there are panels of every main character's death, which, bro, I know they're gonna die. I got it. But don't show me the murderer.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just boom, boom. Like I'm like that, dick meme where like they're throwing hot dogs and I'm like, get away or whatever. Yeah. Anyway,
there are other dodging memes you could have come up with.
I just saw that one today, so it was on my
so many options.
All I saw today was
dicks. you can't. Oh man,
10 out of 10.
Thank
10
you.
out of 10.
Thank you. But yeah, there's way more can't wait for this than how are they going to do that, if I can put it simply. And it really does suck. Like, this is the worst thing about the show is that we get 8 episodes every 2 years.
It's not even like a light complaint. It's bad. It's really bad. Like, it's TV, right? I get it.
If anything will make me stop watching the show, it's that.
I totally get that. But the problem is, by year 2, you've forgotten how much you resent the fact that it's taking that long. You're like, well, I guess might as well watch it.
Okay, if they're going to do that, don't drop 3 episodes at a time.
No,
drop 2.
I'm with you.
But dropping 40% of the season in one weekend is not a good strat.
But I think they had to do that because, again, they lost a lot of favor.
They did.
And
but I think they
don't
got
need to
it
do
back.
it again. They don't need to do it again.
Yeah. I think they got it back. I think they, especially in a House of the Dragon down year, I think they capitalized on that as well.
Someone was cooking behind the scenes. Someone's like, all right, guess what? We're going to let them air out. And then we're going to come in and be like, hey, you wanted a good show?
Yeah. You wanted fun, exciting fantasy? Here you go.
I know it's not dragons, but you let me know what's up with this. It worked. It fucking totally worked. Overall, too, one of the best parts of watching this season has been looking forward to talking to you about it and finding our new friends that like felt the same about it too. Like, hey, this is just like kind of good, like, can we just like this and can we just talk about it? And I think that's been one of the highlights of this season for me.
It absolutely was. Like, I don't know what I expected going into this season, with YouTube comments and stuff like that, but reading everyone's comments, and especially the ones that were like, I'm so glad I found you guys. This feels just like nice, rational discussions about something that we can all enjoy and still have criticisms about. That's honestly my favorite thing. Because we will glaze when we need to glaze, but we will criticize when there is criticisms to be had. But the criticism isn't going to be, hey, there's black people in this show.
It's just not going to be that, because that's not a criticism.
It's not a criticism. That's not criticism by
it's not normal enough on screen, you know? Like, it actually might not be. That's a better criticism. Yeah, we're just not going to try and rage bait people. It's just, I don't want to live that life, too. You know what I mean? Like, Alex Jones is going to die of a coronary because of how, even if what he does is performance, he's creating cancer in his body somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't want to do that.
No.
So it's been a joy. We found a couple true Potter Pod people.
It feels really like this season, just in and of itself, was fun to watch. And then it was so much fun to talk about here with Jess. And then it was fun interacting with you guys. Good comments or bad. Like, I found other criticisms of stuff that I liked and people didn't. I was like, oh, that's a really good point, actually.
Genuinely changed my perspective on some stuff, too.
Yeah.
It really did. Because it was a dialogue as opposed to, and I always appreciated people coming in who had a little bit more education on lore, not shaming us for not knowing the lore, too. Because, boy, there's anything worse than a geek that's gatekeeping? Listen, we were gatekept so hard. And in the last 20 years, we're allowed to be geeks out loud now. And now we're the assholes. It's not cute. And so it's just not fun.
I remember I had a problem with, I think it might have been Tom Bombadil saying precious, or someone saying precious. And I had a big problem with that. And then someone left a really nice comment and saying like, oh no, it's like really important. And it didn't feel overblown to me. And I was like, oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Like,
And honestly, it helped me shape my I'm keen to also listen to someone speak passionately about something and go, oh, interesting, I might agree with that. But also, like, I want to be able to be the kind of person that takes in opinions. So can you let our friends know what to expect in the next couple months from us?
So next couple months, I am gone. I'm in Japan for November, guys. So we're gonna be taking a small break.
Hiatus.
Hiatus, if you will. I feel like hiatus sounds more dramatic. Like anytime I hear a band's on hiatus, I'm like, okay, what happened?
Sure, yeah,
Who
no.
fought who backstage?
Yeah,
Who
we're
boned
definitely
whose girlfriend behind their
for
backs?
real. No, this is not a JD and Jack Black situation. It's not indefinitely either. It's just
No,
we're
definitely
going on.
not.
We're taking a break. We did our job. We covered the series. We're not going to create content where there isn't, and we're going to come back with some fun, more podcast of the rings stuff. The one question I don't have the answer to yet is, will we extend that hiatus past Christmas and come back in the new year or not? But basically for the next couple months we'll be a little dark. But what are we doing over at our Patreon?
Guys, we are getting in. We did our House of the Dragon podcast that you guys can go listen to now. If you want to, we get a free week for signing up. So if you want to binge listen to all those episodes with House of the Dragon season 1 and 2, and right now we are on season 1, episode 7 of Game of Thrones, and we're going to, no matter what, we're going to be doing those episodes all throughout the year, every single week, bringing you new Game of Thrones.
Hiatus be damned.
Hiatus be damned. And once we get past season 2, now Jessica was so into House of the Dragon, she binged watched 2 seasons, and I was like, pause, let's do this. And I want to get, obviously she knows some spoilers, but
I don't think we said let's do a Game of Thrones podcast until you're like, do you want to do a Game of Thrones podcast?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, sure.
Yeah, I mean, you're watching it anyway. So.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're over there, and I'm already we're 6 episodes in, and I'm already annoyed that I basically have to treat this like it's a new show and watch once a week until we record, because I haven't rewatched in 5, 6, 7 years. And it's already
so
got
good.
me rehooked
It's
all
so
over
good.
again.
It's so
So guys,
good.
join us on Patreon over there. And then if I can do my own plug
Yes,
real
please.
quick.
God. I'll go take a break.
Over on my Twitch channel, TTV Strider, I'm doing a subathon, donathon on Thursday, October 24th. I've got all the goods on my Twitter and Threads and Blue Sky, whichever social media you are going to keep. We will see. But it's going to be 1 p.m. Pacific time. It's going to be a 12-hour stream full of really fun rewards. And the top one is me eating ghost pepper wings, which I'm not a spicy person to begin with.
Oh,
so.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be bad.
You little bitch.
That's right.
That's great. Just rule number 1, do not touch your face or your, make sure you have chapstick on. Don't touch your eyes. Don't touch your nose. Don't touch your ears. Don't touch your butthole. Wash your hands before
Don't touch my butthole.
Don't touch your penis before you wash your hands. It's all a problem. So just be
Yeah, I think I'm going to eat it with a fork. I think I'll get just chicken nuggets and dip rather than.
Word, totally. Just be
I'm not Ariana Grande. I'm not getting paid $100,000 to talk to Sean Evans. I'm going to take some precautions.
Do they get paid to do that, you think?
I think they get enough in promo that it equals that.
I'm sure they do get paid to some extent, though, at this point. Because, people do get paid to be on podcasts.
I don't know. Even if I was them, I don't know if I'd do that show. Because I'm so bad with spicy stuff. I don't know if it would be worth the pain.
Yeah, you may not want to.
Yeah.
Listen.
I really have to think about it. But, I'm never not going to be famous. So I'm never going to be famous. So I don't have to worry about it.
Don't say that. You never know. I do think there could be a fun... if you have to eat the ghost pepper challenge, it may not be worth it, but we could recreate our own, Hot Ones challenge for a stream.
Oh, that would be fun.
So how could people find you? What is your Twitch handle?
TTV Strider 3 for an E, y'all.
Yeah, it is in the liner notes for this show, though, if you just don't want to type it all in. And so, yes, thank you for following us here. We will keep things updated. We'll post about new episodes of Game of Thrones on the community page of our YouTube. You can, though, follow us on Twitter. I'm not going to leave Twitter for Podcasts of the Rings, but we also are on Instagram, available everywhere you get your podcasts. And you can also follow along with what we're doing on Patreon as a free subscriber. That's also just one way to keep in touch. And if you're interested in other shows that I might be working on, jlvpodcast.com. That's one way to figure it out. But honestly, this has been so much fun. I am sad that it's come to a close. I may do a whole rewatch of the season again because it really was that good. And it was enhanced by your friendship and the fellowship of our followers.
Thank you guys so much for being here with us. And I wouldn't want to do this show with anybody else.
No.
It was a real good time. And I'm excited for season 3, but I'm excited for what's next for this show as well.
Yeah,
so,
we got some fun stuff coming up. It's just going to be a couple months, but hang in there. All right, until we meet again. Nope. Until next time.
May our paths meet again.
I was doing so well.